I would, in fact, make sure that we immediately surge to the border. All those people are seeking asylum. They deserve to be heard. That's who we are. We're a nation that says if you want to flee and you're fleeing oppression, you should come.
Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. That little snip I just showed you right there was, oh boy, of Biden back in September of 2019. Basically, I'm showing this clip because a lot of people in America have a short attention span and try to point the fingers at others when basically when things go south and for lack of a better term, when the shit hits the fan. Okay. But before I continue, I want to thank all my subscribers, all my new subscribers, and all my subscribers both on YouTube and on Rumble. So don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, support the channel. If you can help support the channel also, I'll leave a link in my description to my Cash App and PayPal and to my merch store, trueoutlawpatriot.com. And you'll definitely be supporting the channel if you can just subscribe. And definitely check out my content, everything I'm putting out, join the movement, and help this channel. All patriots of this country are welcome, and patriots from around the world are welcome, especially if you're basically going through the same thing that we're going through here in America. And I know it's hitting hard, especially in the UK. Also, I came across some information. There seems to be a big uproar also in Ireland of what's basically the same thing. Okay, people in Ireland feel like they're being under attack by all the illegal immigration and the crime that's coming with it. But I'll have to get to that on another video. But yeah, I just wanted to show this, and I have a couple of other clips that I need to show of what's going on. There's a lot going on, people. There's a lot. Also, the video that I put out last night, it got some views, and YouTube put a green check mark next to it, telling me that people are watching it, but that I should change my thumbnail and or title so that it could attract more viewers. The only thing is that YouTube only pushed it out less than 150 times. So if you guys can go and check out that video from last night, I know a lot of my videos are very lengthy, but with all the information that comes out, with all the news that's going on, my videos turn out to be a bit long. And I want to thank all my subscribers that have been sticking with me, and the many more that are joining. Okay, and all the comments that I'm getting from people, thanking me, because there's a lot of news clips that people are not seeing. I know that a lot of people don't have the time, or maybe even a computer to go on and see all this, that's going on. I do work, so on my days off, I got to try to, scour the internet looking around, or early in the morning before I leave. And believe me, I can, like I said before, I can do 10 videos a day with just non-stop footage of the chaos that's going on in America that a lot of the mainstream, I should say not a lot of the mainstream media, basically all of the mainstream media is refusing to put out. Okay, so every video I'm gonna try to put out as much as I can. Okay, I just ask everybody to bear with me, watch the videos. There's a lot of information, a lot of things that people are not seeing. The left keeps pointing at Fox. Fox has stations almost in every state in the US, and Fox is probably the only one that puts out a lot of these stories. Now, I'm not here to promote Fox, okay? There's a lot of things on Fox that I get upset about myself, but they're the only ones that are putting out a lot of this information of all the crimes being committed, especially by the illegal immigrants, okay? And I think it's a disservice to America the way the left and the mainstream media and social media platforms are suppressing all this chaos that's going on. By suppressing it is not going to make it go away. All you're doing is making it possible for there to be more victims, okay? But excuse me, with that being said, yeah, this was good Uncle Joe back in 2019, and look at the two minions that he has with him. Okay, He's got a socialist on one side, okay, and he's got another lying leftist on the other. And these are the ones that are gathering the masses, okay, eating up people's heads, talking about that America's no good. We gotta, keep the borders open. We gotta help everybody. We gotta do whatever we can, but we gotta push Americans to the side and let them suffer, regardless of the consequences. And damn the politics, But I'm gonna show you some more clips of what's going on. So everybody, bear with me and follow along. Here we go.
Whereas white nationalists and xenophobes have been emboldened by some politicians and members of the media, and we recognize that our entire community, not just people of color and immigrants, is harmed by the existence of white supremacy in our community going unchallenged. And
okay, now the clip that I'm showing you now is the mayor of Athens, Clark County, and back in August 2019, once again talking about all this white supremacy and all the bullshit rhetoric that they're pushing out. Okay, he put out a press briefing about the murder of the nursing student at the University of Georgia. Okay, and it got out of control. I mean, people were just yelling at him, telling him that he needs to just step down, because right away he tried to skirt over, and for some odd reason, and this is why I don't understand that this whole narrative of this white supremacy, this bullshit has to stop. It has to stop. Shame on anybody on the left, shame on any liberal, shame on any politician, shame on anybody that keeps pushing this narrative, because all you are doing, you are making targets of a specific race. And I am not here to race bait. I am not here to blow a dog whistle. I am Native American, Hispanic. I first and foremost am an American citizen. Okay? And I have friends of all creeds, all races. Okay? But the one thing I will not tolerate is when people keep pointing the finger, making it seem as if somebody else is the reason, or that somebody else is perpetrating the reason for heinous crimes to be committed. And when you got pricks like this man right here, okay, rambling on with this white supremacist dog whistle, okay, saying that that's what the biggest threat to this country is, the shit needs to stop. Okay? Because here he is back in 2019 talking about all this white supremacist racism that's affecting black and brown communities, but yet it was an illegal immigrant from Venezuela that just went and killed a white girl in Georgia. Okay? And all this bullshit rhetoric is stemming from the left. Okay? From the Democrats, from the liberals, from the socialists. All of this crime and all this chaos in America is stemming from the left. But let's continue.
And whereas our immigrant and undocumented neighbors, especially those of Latinx heritage, face daily fears and threats from individuals and institutions such as ICE, and whereas for the Athens community to be whole, it is necessary that families and loved ones remain together, and that all people, including those without documentation, feel welcome and comfortable.
And there he goes again with the white nationalist and xenophobe dog whistle. He's talking about that the people in the Latin community and all that, they're under threat and all that because of ICE. Because ICE's job is to go pick up all the illegals that came into this country illegally and send them back home. That's what he's more worried about. That's what the left is worried about. But they're not worried about people that are coming from other countries illegally, criminals coming from other countries illegally, and killing and raping and just committing all these crimes against American people, regardless of color, regardless of race, regardless of political party. They don't care. But to these people on the left, that's not what's important. What's important is protecting illegals from being kicked out of the country because they came here illegally. This is why I put in my title that America is under attack from within, people. From within. Okay? And, you know, I am not understanding me, okay, a person being born and raised in the Bronx, man. It's like, this is not the way we were brought up. This is not the America that I know. All right? And it's funny how he says this in August of 2019, but yet in September of 2019, when Joe Biden was up there on stage with Bernie Sanders and what was her name? Pocahontas, okay? A month after this, talking about the same thing. Let the illegals in. We got to let, you know, they're fleeing, you know, they're asylum seekers, they're this, they're that. And what have we had since then? Nothing but chaos. And they still double down, and they still keep trying to push this white nationalist xenophobe agenda. And yet all you see on the news, crimes being committed by how many of these white nationalists? I mean, last I checked, I didn't see, like, you know, parades of Nazis walking down the damn street, KKK members walking down the damn street, okay? I mean, this is just getting totally out of control. Out of control. And there's more. Let's continue.
Plus, the government labels all these migrants white. Look at the police report. The cops classified Jose as white.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there real quick, people. Okay, right here it says Athens, Georgia. You can see right here on the yellow, it's supposed to be ethnicity, is supposed to be white, male, I guess brown eyes, brown hair, whatever the case is. That's the guy's name, the suspect. Now, the reason why this caught my eyes is two things. Yesterday, one of my subscribers on Rumble pointed this video out to me. It was actually late last night that I was up, so I decided to make my video today and put this in. Another reason why this really caught my eye, and for the life of me, I don't know why I didn't bring it up. I've spoken a couple of times on some of my videos of how an illegal immigrant stole my identity in Florida back in 2013, I believe it was, where officials came to my house, knocked on the door, made me come outside, arrested me, had to, you know, figure all this out. Now, in that story, okay, so stay with me, people. I was at a gun show, okay? Now, I didn't buy a firearm. My roommate had bought a rifle, okay? So we pull up to the house. Before we got into the driveway, underneath the carport, I noticed a black car outside. I told her, go inside. I grabbed the rifle, went inside. That's when they came knocking on the door, okay? Now, after they arrested me, well, after they handcuffed me, put me in the squad car, the sheriff's deputy was checking my ID in my wallet, and I heard him say outside, while I was inside the squad car, I heard him say, "This is not the guy." And the other official that was there was like, "Yes, it is. We got him." He was like, "No, it's not." And he goes, "How can you tell?" And he goes, "There's no way he can have this in his possession if he's illegal," which was my concealed carry permit that was in my wallet. Okay, so that's where they realized they had the wrong guy. But going back before that was when I applied for my concealed carry permit, is where this clip right here that Jesse Waters is talking about caught my attention. Everybody knows I am Native American Latino. Okay, I say it all the time, born and raised in the Bronx. Okay, when I applied for my concealed carry permit, while we were at the facility and everybody's getting fingerprinted and the sheriff's deputy's there taking everybody's information, he puts it into the computer, a fax came through, he will call the person up, you sign the paperwork, you're good to go. When he called me up and he gave me my information, He shook my hand. He was like, congratulations. I was like, thank you so much, and I walked away. But as I'm walking away, on my application that was sent back, okay, it said that I was white. So I went back to I walked over back to the deputy, but he was taking care of another woman. And I said, I said, he actually seen me coming back with the paper. And when I went to say, there must be a problem here, he also leaned over to look, and he looked at me. He said, hold on. And he finished with the lady, and she walked away, and there was another person ready to come up, and he leaned over without looking at me, and he said, I'm sorry. He said, that's what they tell us to put down. But the look on his face was of like embarrassment, and he was upset himself about it. And I looked at him, and I said, hold on. I said, this can't be. And he looked at the lady that was coming, and he said, can you give us a minute? And he looked at me again. He goes, listen, I'm really sorry, but that's what they tell us to put. I'm like, but that's not right. I said, I'm not white. I'm Native American and Latino. I said, this makes no sense. And he goes, I know it doesn't. And I was like, why would they do this? I said, because that means that anybody of Latin descent, or whatever the case is, can commit a crime. Okay? And when that paperwork shows up, who are the authorities and FBI or whoever looking for? They're looking for a white male individual, not a Latino individual. And the deputy again apologized. He goes, I'm sorry, there's nothing I could do. That is how they're making us do it now. This was in 2013 when Obama was president. Now, I don't know I want to watch my words, because I'm not trying to offend any race or anything like that. Okay, that is not my intention. But I like to know whose freaking brainiac idea was it to start referring to Latinos as white. Especially if you're not born and raised here and you're coming from another country. It's not like they said he's white skinned. That's not how applications look. Okay? It'll say ethnicity and race, and it goes down the line. Why do they put the Latino community as white? Because if a Latino that has black hair and brown eyes, and he's dark skinned or tan skin or brown skin, commits a crime, but on his documentation says that he's white, that throws off any kind of investigation or any kind of searching when it comes to like police or whoever needs to go look for a suspect. Okay? So why they let this illegal immigrant into this country? And in this report, the suspect is down as white is beyond me. But this has to be a leftist agenda, and I'll explain why. All these leftists keep talking about this white supremacy, this the xenophobia that's going on, and all this far right right wing or white wing ideology that's plaguing America. The only reason why I could think that they'll do something like this is so when the statistics come out via the FBI or Homeland Security or what have you, if there are a large amount of Latin people committing crimes, but they're being deemed as a white individual, that feeds their white racist narrative agenda that they're pushing, saying that more crimes are committed by white people than anybody else. And that is a freaking disservice to the white community, to the Latin community, to the black community, to the Asian community, to the American community at large. It's a disgrace, it's disgusting, and it's freaking deplorable for anybody, especially a police officer, okay, to put down information like this. The truth of the matter is, They still haven't explained how they found out that this man was the one that killed that poor girl. And I've been looking, trying to find out how exactly did they find him. Okay? But they keep pushing this white racist narrative in America. Now, some people may say, why are you talking like that? You're Latino. Listen, I am American first. Plain and simple. And I am Native American first. Okay? But when it comes to crimes being committed, criminals don't normally ask, okay, I'll say it like that to lighten it up. They don't ask what political party you vote for. Okay? A lot of crimes that are being committed in this day and age, believe it or not, a lot of crimes are racial crimes. And it's not by this whole white race agenda that's going on that the leftists keep pushing out. It's not. So I want people to watch this video and let that sink in. Okay? This is some straight up bullshit what they're doing. And for that mayor in Georgia to come out and say that, oh, you know, the Latin community is afraid because of ICE and, you know, there's white racist hatred that's going on, this and that, yada, yada, yada. Really? Is that what you think? Is that what's going on? Really? Okay, I'm going to show you guys the next clip. And you tell me if this was, you know, a white racist supremacist killing that happened. Let's.
These 7 people all charged with murdering a 20-year-old mother from Jasper. Someone found Mahogany Jackson's body on Monday in Birmingham after she had texted a family member that she had been kidnapped.
Our Bria Chapman was at a press conference held by Birmingham police this evening. The chief not mincing his words when discussing this case.
Scott Thurman describing the murder of Mahogany Jackson as disgusting and one of the most heinous crimes that he's seen throughout his career.
Okay, people, I'm going to pause it for a second, and I'm just giving a fair warning. If nobody has seen this story, it's going to totally break your heart and just like turn your stomach. Okay? When I heard this last night, I mean, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know if I wanted to punch my damn computer, if I wanted to pick it up and throw it, or I basically, as a grown man, if I just wanted to sit back and like, you know, I don't know. Like if I needed to shed a tear for this girl, even though I don't know her. But what these 7 people did to this girl, regardless of what the situation was, what they did to this 20-year-old girl, it's just beyond belief. And what makes it even more beyond belief for me, okay, was that there was 3 other girls involved in this. Okay, but let's continue.
And not only was Jackson shot and killed, she was also sexually assaulted by multiple people. Now there are 7 people under arrest facing charges for felony and capital murder and also kidnapping. And Chief Thurman says all of the suspects were acquaintances of the victim. And not only was she tortured to death, some of these horrific acts were recorded by those suspects.
Facts of this case are deplorable and sickening. Saddest of all, they were made public by the suspect's decision to videotape portions of this horrific act. We hope to shield Mahogany's family and friends by withholding specific facts surrounding the investigation. However, we have determined that Mahogany was a victim of sexual assault with murder and kidnapping. There's videos of some of these heinous acts taking place, and that's something that was a pivotal piece of the investigation.
And with 7 arrests in 48 hours, Chief Scott Thurman is commending the people of Birmingham, saying that you all answered the call. And now these suspects will await their day in court while Jackson's family prepares to lay her to rest, and they'll also honor her life tomorrow night with a vigil. Reporting in Birmingham, I'm Bria Chapman, WBRC.
Okay, so you heard that. Now, I only played the small clip. I didn't play the full like 12-minute video of the sheriff that's talking about it, because what he explains what they did to this poor girl, I don't want to repeat it. If anybody wants to go online on the news and look it up for yourself, but it'll turn your stomach what they did to this poor girl. Okay? So not only did 7, and supposedly, I believe they said the oldest one was only 25, and the youngest was 19, I believe, or something like that. Okay, so they all knew each other. Don't know exactly how she ended up hanging out with them. Maybe they asked her to come hang out, and then for whatever reason, like I said, God only knows, but nobody deserves, regardless, because for you to want to do what they did to this girl to anybody, it's like, why would you even take that upon yourself to do that when all you got to do, if that person has done something to you that bad that you feel that you have to get into a group of people, guys and girls together, to do what they did to this girl, why didn't you just turn that person over to the cops? If that person did anything that was that bad. Okay? That's that right there. My next point is, and like I said, I am not trying to race bait. I am not trying to make this a black against white thing. I'm not trying to say for whites to go against blacks or blacks to go against whites or whatever the case is. My thing is this. I am so sick and tired, okay, of the mainstream media, okay, and the leftists of this country playing this division game between white and black, while the whole time they're letting illegals come in and commit crimes, and they're trying to skirt away from that and try to make it seem like, oh no, that's not really happening. But then when one of them gets busted and they put down a description on them on their paperwork, they'll go and put down that that person's white. This is a sick, it's not even a game, people. This is a sick, evil, wicked agenda perpetrated by the left and some on the right. And people need to start waking up and paying attention. Okay? So that's what I'm going to say about this situation right here. Okay? The next situation is to show you more proof of how we have people born and raised in this country that do not give a rat's ass about America. And in my opinion, you know, I always say that I am for America first, and I am. But when you have certain people that care more about people from other countries than Americans and the safety of Americans, my answer to that is just get the hell out. You care so much, okay, about illegals, get the hell out. I'm going to show you what's happening in Seattle. And I know that a lot of people probably know what's going on in Seattle. Seattle has become a major, I mean, for lack of a better, I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it because it's not fair. I have friends in Seattle. Not everybody's like that. But Seattle is going down the tubes really, really, really fast. And it's because of situations like this. Here we go.
I move to adopt the introduction and referral calendar. We will now go into a 5-minute recess. We're back.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there, okay? What they were chanting for, if I couldn't understand the first word. It sounded like they were saying, what do we want? Money. When do we want it now? Something to that effect, okay? And then that woman comes out and starts saying, no more money for the police. In other words, no more money for the police, no more police funding, money towards the illegal immigrants and asylum seekers. That was at the same meeting, okay? That same council meeting, where they had to put it in recess because it was getting out of hand. Now, this is what I don't understand. Who in the hell gave any illegal immigrants the rights to come here and and tell Americans what the hell to do and how to police a neighborhood and how to spend money that American taxpayers are putting into the coffers. Okay? This is why my title says that America is being attacked from within, people. This is what's going on. People can say, well, this is just happening in Seattle. How long before it trickles? Because everybody knows when something happens in a blue state, they try to push that agenda everywhere. We already know this. I mean, they already did it in Chicago. The mayor cutting different funding that's going to affect the security and safety of American citizens. Why? Because he wants to take that money from the same thing, ShotSpotter, that technology, amongst other programs that they have, so they can put more money towards to helping the illegal immigrants. This is chaotic. This is ridiculous. This is just downright anti-American. It's disgusting. I say round them all up, kick all their asses out. If they really want to come back to America, they'll do it the right way. But for these people to come, first of all, to have an American saying, oh, that it's racist to have ShotSpotter, it's taking away money from asylum seekers. No, they didn't. It doesn't take away money from anybody but the American taxpayer. Asylum seekers don't deserve a damn thing, people. And I'm not saying as a human being that they don't deserve anything. Everybody in this world deserves to have some help. But coming into this country saying that, oh, we demand this, and we demand that we take away from Americans to give to them because they deserve it more. No. I don't think so. I think what you need to do is open up your doors, take all your money and or save it and give it to them and or save it and go to their country and help them. That you're more than welcome to do. But how dare you come and say that, oh, that it's racist to pay for more security, to protect more people? Has anybody seen what Seattle has been lately? What it has become? The businesses that are leaving? The people that are moving? The crime that's being committed? The no-go zones in Seattle? The drugs? The chaos? And they're going to say they want less police help? And they want to help out illegal immigrants more? Asylum seekers? This is insane. This is insane. And just so anybody is wondering, where are all these Democrat officials that should be against this, or what do they got to say about it? Oh, I'll show you, because I don't know. Another little article popped up today on the internet. Let's just see where two of these so-called progressive politicians that say that they care so much about America. Let's see what they're up to. Here we go. Okay, I came across this article today, early this morning, okay, by The Hill. It says progressive Democrats travel to Cuba. Oh, that's where they're at, people. And look at the two progressive Democrats that they're sending to Cuba, and it makes you wonder why. And I'll give my quick thought on it before my last article and I end this video. But here it says two prominent progressive, prominent my ass. If anything, they're both traitors to this country. Two prominent progressive lawmakers traveled to Cuba during the House recess last week. Congressional Progressive Caucus, CPC, Chair Representative Pramila Jayapal, Democrat of Washington, and Deputy Chair Representative Ilhan Omar, Democrat of Minnesota, which she should have been kicked out of this country because she referred to the president of where she's from as her president. Why she's still in this country is beyond me. But both traveled to the island nation. A CPC spokesperson confirmed to The Hill. Where are we? Okay. During the trip, first reported by the Miami Herald, the lawmakers met with people from across Cuba, Cuban civil society, and government officials to discuss human rights and the U.S.-Cuba bilateral relationship, according to the CPC spokesperson. Now, this is what I don't understand. You are going to go to Cuba Okay? And talk about human rights and the U.S.-Cuban bilateral relationship. But yet you are not in America confronting all the chaos and crime that's going on and the human rights, unless it has to deal with illegal immigrants. But let's continue. Both Omar and Jayapal have been critical of the U.S.'s embargo against Cuba and support normalizing relations with the island. In 2019, 2019 is when, has anybody noticed a lot of this stuff that they're talking about is all in 2019? That's when the leftists were ready to take over, okay? In 2019, Omar cited Cuba when she criticized how the U.S. used sanctions against other nations.
When we read,
okay, but the one thing they won't explain is that there is a big Cuban population in America, okay, and it's been like that for decades. The reason being that America put sanctions on Cuba is not because of the Cuban people, okay, it's because of their communist regime that oppresses their people. But she says nothing about all the Cubans that come here all the time that are migrating to America and that are acting more American than these two traitors right here. But let's continue. But economic and sector sanctions are too often designed to inflict maximum pain on the civilians, not empower them, Omar said. I wonder it, I can't, I'm just going to continue. We had a full embargo on Cuba for decades, with little effect on the Cuban government, but much pain inflicted on ordinary Cubans. It was only through diplomacy and direct conversation that President Barack Obama and the United States made progress in Cuba. That is one crock of total bullshit. Bullshit. Obama was caught schmoozing with Cuban dictators. Okay? Did he forget? Or did these, well, they couldn't have remembered because they really weren't around when Obama was here, but did they forget that Obama was out there schmoozing in Cuba with their dictator, while at the same time he was rounding up people from Brazil in America and sending them back to Brazil? Did they forget about that? Oh, really? Did they forget about all the Cubans that migrated to America and became American citizens in the past, 100 years? How they came to America? How they embraced American culture, American values? How they added to this great country? Unlike these two traitors right here. I just love the way they say it was all because of Barack Obama. No, it wasn't. Not for a hot second was it because of Obama. But let's continue.
Who are the
Jayapal and Omar were among the 40 Democrats who voted against the resolution supporting protesters who were demonstrating against the Cuban government in 2021. Let's just keep on. The trip was not covered by Cuba's state media. Usually, U.S. lawmakers' trips to the island are followed by publicity, according, to the Herald. Okay, somebody misspelled there. But some GOP members of Congress criticized the trip. Republican Congressman Mike Waltz, Republican of Florida, said it was no surprise that the Hamas caucus, and I agree with that, made a pilgrimage to Cuba last week to get a refresher course on communism to bring back to D.C. Absolutely. Now, it makes you wonder why they're really there. If anybody's been paying attention to what's happening in Cuba, you'll understand why. And it makes me wonder why AOC went to Chile a few months ago and sat down with that communist dictator of a leader that they have. But let's continue. Representative Nicole Malliotakis, Republican of New York, in reaction to the trip, said that the CPC should be called the Congressional Communist Sympathizing Caucus. It's outrageous that members of Congress would visit a country that jails, abuses, and murders their citizens and supports Iran, Russia, and communist China. which right now, if anybody's been paying attention, Iran and China are making their bones in Cuba. Okay? Look it up. Against our interest. Maliatakis wrote in a post on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, perhaps their time would be better spent listening to the Cubans crossing our southern border, thank you, and risking their lives on makeshift rafts to find out why they're fleeing communism. But they won't talk about those Cubans that are doing that, no. Because they know that those Cubans are leaving a communist country, and when they get to America, 99% of them, okay, do it the American way. Whereas you have a bunch of criminals coming from the other side, not saying that all the migrants, that all the illegals that are coming here are criminals, but there is a larger influx of criminals coming from that side, and yet people on the left are trying to say they're asylum seekers. But yet they're going to go to Cuba and schmooze as if the Cuban people here in America are stupid. Okay? Now, I said this video was going to be long, people, so bear with me. Okay? And if you truly are a patriot to this country, you know, you really got to listen to information that I'm putting out here, and you got to see all this. A lot of people don't find these articles. Okay? There is so much information out there, and people's attention spans are so quick these days because the media pushes out so much information that they want you to forget. And they say, we reported on it for 2 minutes, but we reported on it because they want you to forget about it. Okay? So this is what's going on with this story. And if you think this is only affecting the adults that have to make the decisions in America, oh, it's still coming, and they're still after the kids. And then they wonder why you have a group of young people that can go take another young girl and do what they did to that poor girl because of all this chaos that's going on. And it makes you wonder, look at the mindset we have as adults. Well, I shouldn't say we, because I don't have this damn mindset. But look at the mindset that the adults that are supposed to be in power of what they're trying to push on adults as far as bullshit. And then you wonder, and why are young people committing heinous crimes like those 7 individuals did to that poor girl? Okay, and it even breaks my heart to bring up this article because of how I feel about Florida. But I'm hoping and praying that enough voices in Florida will stand against this. Here we go. Here we go, people. Satanic Temple prepares to enter Florida schools as state moves to pass bill allowing chaplains to volunteer. Yep, you heard it. This is by The Independent. Okay, disgusting. The organization known as the Satanic Temple is getting ready to send its chaplains into Florida schools as a bill edges closer to adoption that allows volunteer chaplains in schools. The religious group, which does not actually believe in Satan, bullshit, you know you do, you're all full of shit, stop your lying, you're all wicked and evil, encourages effective and artful protest according to its website. In the 10 years since its conception, the group has advocated the First Amendment rights as well as religious freedom across the United States. People, I have always said, and I've been saying it and I'll keep saying it, there are people in this country that they use our constitutional rights, okay, to go against the Constitution and to go against people. I've been saying it for the longest. They use it to hurt people. They turn it around. Okay? They flip it on its ear. Okay? It says the Satanic Temple also runs a series of after-school groups saying they are an alternative to offerings by other religions. Groups are only set up when other religious groups are present on campus. Yeah, let me see, what other religious groups? You mean Christians? Is that why you're setting up? Because people, you know, the schools, the leftists and everybody want to take God out the equation, want to take the Lord Jesus Christ out the equation, out the family. But you think that since, you know, they're doing it, then we have to bring in ours because, you know, it's an alternative. No, it is good against evil. It is Satan against God. That's it. You people are Satanists. It says it in your name. You believe in Satan. There is nothing good about it. Plain and fucking simple. Now, Florida's legislature is close to passing a bill which would allow the group's chaplains into schools alongside other religious leaders. The bill, known as House Bill 931 or Senate Bill 7044, passed its final committee hearing earlier this week. A final Senate vote looks imminent, with the law set to take effect on July 1st, ready for the next school year. The Satanic Temple did not immediately respond to a request for comment from the Independent, but one of its leaders told the Tallahassee Democrat, of course you speak to a Democratic paper but nobody else, that the group was ready to help kids. No, you're not. No, you're not. Any opportunity that exists for ministers or chaplains in the public sector must not discriminate based on religious affirmation. Director of Ministry, Pina Mu, whatever, Grigori told the outlet. Let me tell you something. If any of these chaplains, any Catholic or Christian chaplains, are going along with this, may God help you. May God help you. Our ministers look forward to participating in opportunities to do good in the community, including the opportunities created by this bill, right alongside the clergy of other religions. As well as seeking to offer that alternative for school kids, the group also advocates for reproductive rights, the safety of mental health patients, and alternative addiction recovery methods. These traits would seem to align with the ideas behind Florida's bill, which is being touted as a way to help students with their mental health needs. Really, take them away from God and just teach them about Satan and Satanistic ways. Yeah, okay, we see. Yeah, that'll definitely help them mentally. However, parents will have to give their consent before their child meets with a chaplain. Background checks will also be necessary before a volunteer can work in a school, and it will be down to individual school boards or charter school leaders to decide how to adopt the new policy. A similar bill passed recently in Utah, promising chaplains will be non-denominational and fair to all, while Texas passed this version last year. The Independent is the world's most free-thinking news brand, providing global news, blah, 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 blah. Okay. You see what's going on, people? Take God out the equation and let the Satanists come in, because you know what? They have the right to teach their religion. Satanism is not a religion. Everybody needs to get that through their heads. Okay? It is the enemy disguising itself as a religion just to get to your children. You want to make decisions like this when you're an adult? Go right ahead. But no. They don't want the adults because they know they're going to get more adults that will go along with them. What they want are the kids. And when you go after the kids, you have situations where you got 7 young adults that will go and take a helpless girl and torture her, rape her, commit all kinds of violent acts on her, record it, send it out, and to finish it off, just shoot her dead and leave her body. That, on top of all the other chaos the left is implementing on this country and in the world. This is where we're at, people. This is where we're at. People need to start standing up. I don't end my videos always saying, stay vigilant, keep praying, and keep praying for each other. No. Just to say it? No. I say it because I mean it. This is not a battle against flesh and blood, lest we forget. This is a battle against good and evil. And the left is showing more and more of who they're siding with. There are people leaving and joining our side, which is good. And I'm not saying that our side is 100%. We've got some evildoers on our side that we need to weed out. We know who the rhinos are. We know who the ones are in cahoots. Okay? But for the people out there that truly care, okay, that have an ounce of decency inside of them, that are against all this indoctrination, all the chaos, on the American people, on the children. I mean, hell, even on the illegal immigrants that are being kidnapped and tortured and just vilified themselves by their own. Okay? You've got to stand against this chaos. This is all evil and wicked what's going on. Plain and simple. It's not about some group that comes and says, oh, we're here to teach. What the hell are you going to teach? You don't believe in God. What good can you teach? Goodness comes from God. Okay? But that's not what they want you to believe. Anyway, that's what I got for you. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe. Give it a thumbs up. Pass it around. Spread the word. Join the channel. I want to thank everybody once again for joining my channel, for helping my channel grow. You know, when I first started, I didn't know how many subscribers I was going to get. I didn't know how far I was going to go with this. I do know why I started this channel. Okay? The more I see the chaos going on, and the more I see more people are trying to do the right thing, especially for this country, the more it gives me hope. And that's why, I'll be honest, I want to reach 1 million subscribers. I want 1 million patriots on my channel and on other channels. Okay? I want to see patriotic American Christian channels grow by the millions. Not just here in America, but around the world. Around the world. So we can show and force this movement against these people on the left and their wicked deeds. Okay? Because this is not over by a long shot. So if you could do anything to help support the channel, please do. I'll leave a link in my description to my Cash App and PayPal, to my merch store. Just by joining the channel is great. Join other channels. Help them out. Help build them up. Help spread the word. Take my videos. Spread it around. Okay? And remember, stay vigilant. Keep praying. Keep praying for each other. Keep praying for this country. Keep praying for the children all around the world. Keep praying for the people that are being victimized all around the world, especially by the leftist regime that has taken root in America and around the world. Till next time, peace.